The matriarch of a political dynasty spanning decades has passed away. Former First Lady Barbara Bush has died at the age of 92.
I've been the luckiest woman in the world, truthfully, and I know it.
The news comes just days after it was revealed her health was failing and she was no longer seeking hospital care. Political reporter Rick Albin is here to talk about her lasting impression on West Michigan, but our team coverage begins tonight with NBC's Jay Gray, who has a look back at her remarkable life.
She was the matriarch of an American political dynasty. Barbara Pierce Bush was the wife of the 41st president and mother of the 43rd. Another son served as governor of Florida and made his own run for the White House. Her quick wit and no-nonsense demeanor made Bush a popular first lady.
At last, I get a chance to prove I'm more than just a pretty face.
She was a force for a number of causes, including literacy, AIDS, and children's issues.
Did you like that story?
Driven in part by the loss of a daughter to leukemia. With her husband, Bush raised more than $1 billion for charity after leaving the White House.
My wife, Barbara, the Silver Fox.
Former President George H.W. Bush publicly referred to his wife, Barr, as the reason for his success. She was fiercely protective of and loyal to her family.
At the end of your life, you will never regret not having passed one more test, winning one more verdict, or not closing one more deal. You will regret time not spent with a husband, a child, a friend, or a parent.
She often joked that she had been lucky to marry so well, while friends and fans say it's the country that was lucky to have such a gracious and caring woman as First Lady, and in her later years, affectionately known as America's grandmother. Jay Gray, NBC News.
And our political reporter Rick Albin joining us now. She was just a woman who was dedicated to her family, her husband, someone that really everyone across America could relate to.
You know, first ladies have the ability to somehow be divorced from their husband's policies sometimes, and their approval rating, and particularly in this case, are quite a bit higher sometimes than their husbands. For 50 years, Barbara Bush was in the thick of some of the most important political moments in our country, alongside of her husband, George Herbert Walker Bush. She was in West Michigan numerous times, like this visit in 2013, talking about the role of First Lady. She was with former First Lady and daughter-in-law, Laura Bush. Think about her remarkable life. Her husband was elected to Congress in 1966. Her son, Jeb, was running for president 50 years later in 2016. She was there for all of it, only the second woman in history to be both the wife and mother of U.S. presidents. Comfortable, reassuring. She served with a simple elegance that kept her approval ratings, as I say, higher than most politicians, even those in her own family. And she was her own woman, wasn't afraid to speak her mind, referring once to the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic ticket, Geraldine Ferraro, running against her then vice president husband, as something that rhymed with rich. Later, she said she had the word witch in mind. She was a unique first lady that people felt genuinely comfortable with. We were very lucky to see her a number of times here in West Michigan, many times with the Ford Museum. The president released this statement earlier this evening. As a wife, mother, grandmother, military spouse, and former first lady, Mrs. Bush was an advocate of the American family. She will be long remembered for her strong devotion to country and family, both of which she served unfailingly well. And you talk about George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush. This is the picture that was taken over at the Amway Grand Plaza. I was in the room that night. This was at the rededication of the Ford Museum. 3 presidents, 4 former first ladies, and there's George Herbert Walker Bush giving rabbit ears or bunny ears to his wife. And that relationship, their relationship, was very much like that, on display. You could tell there was really a bond there in all those years. They went through a lot. Envoy to China, ambassador to the UN, chairman of the National Republican Party, all of those other things, president, vice president. And they had quite a storied life. And I think over the next few days we'll hear a lot about that.
Well, and he attributed a lot of his success to his wife. Right?
Absolutely.
America's grandmother, indeed.
It's a big burden on a spouse of somebody in those positions.
Oh, yes. Is. Thank you, Rick.
You bet.
Well, over the next few days, stay with 24 Hour News 8 on air and online for our continuing coverage of the passing of Barbara Bush.